think it's time to go to Sata, possibly. We'll talk to Fiona there. Nope, not Fiona. Okay. We had a gorgeous weather on the other day, huh? I took advantage of it, went for a picnic by myself over the Causeway of Morris, but as I sat down to take my first bite, a sudden gust of wind ripped past me. Next thing I knew, my lunch had disappeared. I looked up, I saw a flock of harpies high above. They were flying around in slow, deliberate circles to mock me, and they were eating my lunch. Words can't describe the rage that welled up within me. Listen, could you go to the Causeway of Morris and give those harpies a piece of mind? Sure. Where the heck is Fiona?
Let's use the Meridian to travel.
Because what's her name said this was her next location. Fast travel. Causeway of Morris. It's the closest to where there were harpies. I just did some reviews. I'm feeling pretty happy about that platform. Boon Pro. It is really challenging at first because you don't really understand the way it is, like, or at least I didn't at first fully understand like what each task is like trying to communicate to me while I'm doing them. Because like sometimes it'll be like blah blah blah, do this.
It's useless to run.
Unclear time period, past tense, temporary. And I like have to like figure out the format it's trying to use. Granted, that just happens from like doing some of the lessons and stuff, but I didn't want to, like, I'm sure if I had started fresh as if like a complete baby beginner and never learned anything, just using the platform to go, like as it goes, it would probably be totally simple and I would understand it more holistically. But jumping in at N3 is like jumping in at N3 is just like suddenly I'm like thrown into this lesson plan and have to just figure it out, which is fine. Like it's going great actually. It's a really nice platform. Honestly, if you want to know how to speak Japanese, here's my advice. I'm going to save you $120,000 worth of college tuition. Take it from someone who went to college to learn Japanese. To speak Japanese, I should say. To study Japanese. Go right now and go to wanikani.com, WANIKANI, and buy a lifetime subscription. That's $300. You could also just pay for it monthly, or buy a year of it. But frankly,
It's useless to run.
I say just buy the lifetime, because one, supporting it is amazing, and two, it's just a really good, it's just like really worth, it's really, really worth the money. And paying a lot for it up front will like pretty much immediately make you feel guilty enough that you'll actually commit to it. You know what I mean? Like buying a gym membership.
Fine opportunity to rest.
And then also immediately go to boonpro.jp, bunpro.jp. Buy a lifetime subscription for that. It's $150. So $450. And I know that sounds like a lot. You can subscribe monthly as well, or yearly, you know, but again, take this as my suggestion. Just think about it in this way, right? You pay $450, which sounds like a lot, I'm sure, to many of you, but $450 versus $125,000 to go to college for Japanese and to live abroad and study in immersion and stuff like that, right? $450. Start from scratch. Immediately do your lessons on Wanikani and your lessons on Boon Pro, and just start playing games and reading manga and watching anime with Japanese subtitles. Do not play with English. Just play in Japanese. throw away your concern about not understanding everything or not comprehending everything. Just do it, and you will immediately get better. You will learn so quickly.
Oh.
I see you took down those harpies. Nice, very nice. Here, take this as thanks.
One step closer to becoming a true soul guard.
And like, one of the things that you won't, like, that will change for you,
Where to next?
I think, is that very quickly, over time, you will start picking things up, and you will realize that you understand more Japanese than you think. At least most of you. The people in my comments, the people degenerates who watch anime and play Japanese games with the Japanese voice acting, and I know you. I know all of you. I guarantee you will pick up more than you realize. And obviously, Japanese is hard, and you will have to study to get good, and like, nothing is going to change that. That's literally just a fact of the language. It's something you'll have to do. But if you do it well, and you keep at it, and you use spaced repetition, and you don't cheat on Wanikani or Boom Pro, you will start to internalize it. And in 2 years, maybe, or maybe a year and a half, you will be so good at Japanese that you don't need to worry about any of this. You just do it steady. That's all you have to do. And some resources for people who are looking for Japanese subtitles for anime is kitsuneko.net, I want to say. Just Google Kitsuneko. So like kitsune and then any like Kitsune KKO. So KITSUNEKKO. This is a place, it's a subtitles repository. And all of you crafty anime people will be able to find subtitles for specific rips of anime. And so it becomes as simple as tracking down those specific rips, which if you are an anime downloader person, you know how to do. Not going to instruct you how to do that. You can just get the subtitles from Kitsuneko. Some good groups for that are Kamigami, and I believe there's one called like ADC or something like that. I don't remember. I don't use that one as much. But you'll find Japanese subtitles. And just watch anime and look at the subtitles. The YouTube channel...
So gloomy here. Feels like we're gonna get jumped by a ghost or something.
Could you not, Val? It is not as grim as all that, I assure you. Bratzo Islet is known for its rolling fog. Not to worry, we will get acclimated to it accordingly.
Is that a menacing shadow I see in the mists?
Julay, please.
Creepy spooks and frightened mooks.
Is that necessary?
Julay's great. Some YouTube channels that are worth following. Dogen is an all-time great.
This place justice. It sure is dark. Where should we look for Aish? I guess in town is as good a place to start as any.
Dogen is an all-time great content creator for stuff if you like Japanese. Me, I'm just here to look at the boats. If you think all the ships are the same, you'd be very, very wrong. And especially for game people, like people who play video games,
Got some syrup.
who are interested in playing video games Japanese, Game Gengo is great.
Got some syrup.
Game, Gengo, Gengo. Really kind of one-of-a-kind channel that does like let's tries of games and then breaks down the vocabulary and grammar you can learn from them. He also has a ton of resources about like what games you can learn Japanese from and like which ones are easy based on level.
This?
Aforementioned before, if you want reading materials when you get a little bit better, whether it be raw manga or novels, shosetsu or light novels, ranobe, you could go to bookwalker.jp. That's exactly as it sounds, bookwalker.jp. And what else am I thinking of? Bookwalker, honestly, reading manga in Japanese is like so good as a study aid. This isn't anywhere near all of them, but where do I even begin to look? They were scattered all over the place. Oh, greetings, traveler. You want to know if there's anything bothering me? It's very considerate of you to ask. Well, actually, I do have one issue. I wanted to insert some pieces of parchment into this bottle here, but the wind suddenly picked up and blew them away. But this bottle really is amazing. It seems to have been cast into the ocean by a young girl who placed a letter inside, but it's been added to by people who picked up as it drifted around the world. Seeing as it washed up here in Lagrazzo now, I wanted to add something myself, so I wrote down many inspiring quotes on a parchment that is said to grant wishes. But before I could place them in the bottle, the wind carried them off. They looked like flower petals fluttering in the breeze. Thankfully, the wind wasn't very strong, so I highly doubt the scraps of parchment made it that far. I expect they're here in Lagrazzo somewhere. Just about to go searching for them, but it'd be much quicker if you could help me out. I'd really appreciate it. Sure. So yeah, what other resources are there? Bookwalker's really good. Just like really great, honestly. What does Morley have to say? Palomina might be more fearful of supernatural than she lets on. Cannot get along with those gloomy bookworms in the archives. I love gloomy bookworms. All knowledge is said to be nested within Lagrazzo Dark Archives. I too have visited many times in pursuit of worldly wisdom.
Taking this? Come on.
Welcome, travelers. Continue on ahead. You'll soon reach the town center of Lagrazzo. There are a lot of people here for what is supposed to be a dark island. Folks here in Lagrazzo have a reputation for being detached or curt. They treat you differently if you were a book, that's for sure. So it's like Seattle.
Oh.
We're travelers from another village. Before we arrived, we heard rumors that the people here do nothing but study. Looks like they weren't too off the mark.
Hello.
The folks on Brazzo Islet or something else, huh? Mumbling to themselves as they read those thick books. Kind of creepy if you ask me.
Okay.
I want to be a scribe when I grow up and help out Aish in the archives.
Got some syrup.
What other resources are there for people? Obviously, so here's a big thing. If you want to watch anime with Japanese subtitles and you aren't a downloader type person, because I know a lot of you people, young people especially, don't have all the internet skills that we had when we had to scrounge in the mud to find our 240p subtitled Naruto rips in DivX format in 2004. I recommend that you get a VPN.
Let me see.
This video is not sponsored, but just get a VPN. Any VPN that you would know of works pretty much, but like a paid VPN specifically.
I see you. Happy doing business with you.
It's a cool looking lance. Useless. Don't need that. Shoal dagger. Need that. I don't need anything else. I do not need any other weapon because I think we have the best things for...
I see you have a good... Happy doing business with you.
Yeah, we have the best weapons of every type, so there's no need to buy anything else. No. Doesn't matter. I have the best lance. I don't have the best sword there, but I'm not going to use it. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so buy a VPN. Get yourself a NordVPN sub or whatever. I use private internet access. That's my favorite. Oh, sorry, my brain is... I'm trying to keep up with all the crap that I'm buying. Get a NordVPN sub, and instead of using Crunchyroll or any other anime streaming service like High Dive, just log into Netflix and use Japanese Netflix to watch anime, because that's the best way to get access to Japanese subtitles as well. And there's a lot of great shows, I'm sure, that you all would like on there. And don't turn your nose up at that, because I know y'all have Netflix subs and you still haven't canceled them. You tell people you canceled them, but you haven't, because you can't wait to watch the next season of Stranger Things or whatever. Highly recommend just watching stuff in Japanese. And that's Japanese TV shows as well. Pretty easy to get Japanese subtitles as long as you are logged into Japanese Netflix. Just make sure to log into your account on a non-VPN every once in a while, just so that you have your access not revoked by like the anti-password sharing methods or whatever that they utilize. I don't know. There's something around here.
Yes.
There's no chest though. There's something underground here then, for sure. Somewhere. Alright, 3 out of 4 parchments found.
Hiya.
Where do you come from, mister?
Hey.
If you've never seen architecture like this before, we don't really demolish buildings. We just keep adding more to what we've seen as the need arises. Interesting. I actually like this. I like this town. This is a quaint town. So much I want to ask the Alms, so much I want to learn from them. Like, why do you have to go all the way to the mana tree? To die. For fun. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So what was I saying? Watch anime in Japanese. Watch live action content in Japanese as well. I know a bunch of you weebs are going to be like, meh, I don't like it, though, because I don't like movies and art. Watch good movies. Scratch Job is not always easy, but it's very rewarding work. Watch Japanese movies specifically, though, with Japanese subtitles.
This is kind of exciting.
Watching English language movies with Japanese subtitles is not going to help you. You're going to tell yourself that you'll learn from it. You will not. I promise you, you will not. You will focus entirely on the audio, and you will look away from the screen, and the subtitles will wash over you, and you will not connect anything, and the translations won't help anyway. Just as an extra added layer of translation. Just watch it in Japanese. Just watch stuff in Japanese. And I mean, I guess if you want to watch English language stuff, you can watch it dubbed in Japanese on Japanese Netflix. Sure, there are things like that available. But for the most part, just watch Japanese like TV and stuff. That's my suggestion. I think if you do all of those things, you will learn Japanese very quickly. Hopefully that helps. That's my expert opinion as someone who literally paid to go to school in Japan and live in Japan and entered a Japanese university like a crazy person and had to learn trial by fire the most expensive possible way to do something. Don't be me. It's not worth it. It's better to just learn practically and be a normal person about it. But that being said, definitely like turn up, do a rigorous level on Boon Pro. Make sure you have your lessons batched out to 100 per day on Wanikani if you must. And just be honest about it, and you'll get through and you'll learn Japanese really quickly. And if you want to talk to me in Japanese, you can. And you can put Japanese in the chat, and I'll respond in Japanese for you. Thank you again for lending me a hand. Were you able to find some of the parchment? Yep, I was. Which grinding parchment? Yes, those are the ones. Now let me count them. Wonderful. That's all of them. Here I have something for you. I hope it proves useful in your travels. Now to insert the parchments into the bottle, release them into the sea. Off it goes. One game series I suggest for Japanese learning is Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is very, very good for Japanese learning. I would hold off on visual novels unless they have voice dialogue that you can repeat, because you're going to be looking up a lot of stuff. Animal Crossing, also very good. I'm not going to tell you how to get Japanese games downloaded on English systems. It's so much work. But just for PC games, it's a little bit easier. You just go to the Properties tab on Steam for each game, and then you set Japanese if it's available. But Game Gingo has a great tier list of games that are really, really accessible and have good furikana and stuff, so you can read the kanji and learn the kanji. So it's amazing how few pieces of paper connect so many people. I hope the bottle finds its way back to the little girl quickly, but I hope more people can find it first. Where will the Whims of the Sea take that little bottle next? I wonder if I'll ever find out.
Becoming a true soul guard.
All right, time to go up the hill. I'm really excited to stream games in Japanese and talk about them and do live study and stuff. I think it will be very fun, and a lot of people, all of you people will like it, maybe, possibly. I think it could be really fun, and it could, we could do just chatting streams where I study and stuff. Could be really good. That's all I'm saying.
Pamail, welcome back to the archives.
Who are you?
Please, remain calm. I am pleased to see you in good spirits, as always, Master Aish.
Quite. After the appointment of the new Alm of Water, we received word from Niccolo that the party had to set off without the rest of the alms. As you may have surmised, the Alm of Darkness has not yet been named. I believe you all made the correct decision. That is, if I am indeed addressing the Alms and Soul Guard, I am Aish, head curator of these archives. I am honored to make your acquaintances. If it were not for the presence of your companion here, I might have remained in the stacks and missed your arrival completely.
Did you call her Pamela earlier? What is that, a nickname?
Oh, I assumed her fellow Alms would be familiar with her alias. Palomina prefers to go by Pamela when visiting Legrazzo incognito.
Oh, you mean when you wear that outfit that fools no one?
Unfortunately, yes.
Nonsense. Your disguise fooled the majority of the scholars who live here. They were indubitably convinced of your humble origins.
You are too kind, but the affirmation is appreciated.
Well, if you two are friends, that makes this quicker. Can you help us find a way to deal with Deilophos?
Deilophos? Interesting. I did not expect to hear the name of such an ancient hero spoken under these circumstances. Tell me more. An unsettling predicament you find yourselves in, to be sure. Much as I would love to analyze your encounter in detail, I do not think we are afforded the luxury of time. We must now turn our attentions toward a way to successfully oppose Deilophos.
Great! Less small talk and more problem solving.
Forgive my directness, but are you perchance a sproutling? Your garb and stature seem to suggest so.
Could be. Who's asking?
This is the first time I've observed a sproutling up close. Our resources on the subject are limited. Might I convince you to submit a few tissue samples for further study?
I'm kind of busy with this whole Deilophos problem. Maybe later?
I will take you up on that.
Whoa there, buddy.
Circling back to our previous discussion, I believe your best chance against Deilophos would be to set a trap meant to inflict harm and sap his power. Unfortunately, the creation of such things has long since been deemed dangerous, and knowledge thereof banned from general consumption.
Makes sense to outlaw things that hurt people.
You will find that it has taken quite some time for humanity to reach that same conclusion, I fear. Arvid's War comes to mind, the single longest and deadliest conflict in our history. The seemingly endless fighting only ceased when the Benevodon presence made itself known. The combat records of the time we have on file state that the Benevodon's anger itself was incited by the wanton consumption of mana power by the people of the world.
Oh, I get it. The scholars wanted to keep people from causing another war, so they banned the study of their most dangerous techniques.
As you say. But I digress. So goes the tale of how the legendary hero traversed the world, sealing away the Benevodons in each of the lands, as we currently understand it. Even here in Legrazzo, we house a defeated Benevodon on the top tier of the Passagian Tome Spire, the Benevodon of Darkness, Zabelfar. After the monsters were sealed away, whispers of curses swept through the lands, warnings of prophetic disaster should the Benevodons awaken. Darkness will deepen, breeding monsters in its wake. As foretold, the Tome Spire now teems with fearsome enemies. The forbidden scripture you now seek rests in the middle of their nest, inaccessible to all who value their lives.
But what are we gonna do?
We must beat Deilophos at his own game, of course. Fear not. I will see you to the Passagian Tome Spire myself.
Did Ace just say he was coming with us? Into a den of monsters?
Can't be. He must mean to see us to the entrance.
Ace is certainly interesting, but he does seem to want to help us get to the Tome Spire at least. This is kind of exciting. Nice.
A little unhinged, but that's fine. I'll take it.
Yes!
We're lucky that Ace was so eager to help, but I don't know, there's something about him I don't like. Head curator, that means Ace is in charge of the place, like the chief back in Longren, right? He doesn't exactly seem like a leader to me.
Yes.
Master Ace is an incredible, illustrious instructor. He's taught me many great things on various subjects.
Taking this?
I wonder if he's going to be the Alm of Darkness and he's going to be our new Hina, like if he heals from the sideline.
Is this?
That could be cool. Chalice of Heirdom. Wow. She's got more slots. What is she wearing? She's wearing wind. Earthquake, why not? You mortals are obsessed with history, aren't you? Sure is. Love me some history. Yum yum. I love this place. This is so Halloween flavored. Like a purple candle.
Taking
Just want
this?
to eat it all up. Our ancestors preserved their knowledge and insight in the form of books. Our studies, those materials, is how we keep their wisdom alive. Cool. Love that for you.
This is kind of exciting. Nice.
Fairy equal.
Yes. Taking this?
I'm trying to think about other languages I would like to study someday. I want to get back to Norwegian because I think it would be fun. And Icelandic would be really fun too. As you've likely gathered already, there are more books stored here than any mortal could possibly read in a single lifetime.
Hello.
I have no concept of what studying means. When something piques my interest, the desire to learn all about it is simply the natural next step. You're in the mood for a book? There are many I would like to recommend, but they're all written in the script of an extinct language. I doubt you could read it. Fuck off.
Taking this?
Teach you to judge me.
Yes. Let me see. Is this?
Wound magic. Consumes 3 HP, but increases damage when attacking with magic. Interesting. Oh. The revolutionary king Gahul was a polymath who used his extensive knowledge to establish a Terran. And one day he vanished. What could have happened to him?
Hey.
King Gahul was once a ruler of a Terran. He was a learned man who used his vast knowledge to construct Castle Crescendo and craft the infamous lunar sand glass. Oh no. Can't take a little bath. Hiccup.
Taking this?
I don't know where to go. Over here. Possibly? Yes. Oh, okay, back outside.
We've restocked the stores of ink, but according to my notes, I am afraid that the structural support for the building must be replaced as well.
Already? How time flies. Since we replaced the posts on the same schedule as the Alms pilgrimage, without the fairy's arrival to remind us this year, we must have completely forgotten.
That's how you're propping up this place? Given the state of the architecture in Lagrazzo, I shouldn't be surprised. It's a little crooked.
How quick you are to judge. Every minute detail of these halls has been measured thoroughly for structural integrity. As such, even the slightest bit of negligence in the upkeep will cause the complete collapse of the building.
Then what are you doing? Get a replacement now!
The apprentice scribe was meant to acquire a suitable reinforcement, I believe. You should ask him. More importantly, am I in the presence of this year's convoy of alms?
Yes, indeed. Though they are currently lacking an alm of fire, the rest of them represent the alms of wind, the moon, water, and wood.
Fascinating. An alm of the moon has not been designated for at least 16 years. We've sent several scribes to Aetern in the past to document the changes since its destruction.
I think those two got distracted.
What are we supposed to do about the building?
Honestly, I care more about Aisha's promise to show us to the Tome Spire.
We can't just let the building fall. I'll go ask the apprentice for starters.
We will accompany Aish. so as to attempt to extricate him from that animated exchange as soon as possible.
Hooray! We get to babysit the head curator of the Dark Archives.
Okay, if I were an apprentice scribe, where would I be? In the archives, I guess.
Darn tootin'. Sorry, I'm buying stationery at the same time as I navigate. Oh boy, that's expensive. Oh no, it's because I had extra stuff in my cart. There we go, that's not bad at all. I seem to have lost or misplaced my Apple Pencil, which means I can't take notes on my iPad, which is a real annoying fucking bummer.
Excuse me, I'm supposed to ask you about a structural support for the courtyard? Can you help?
Support? I don't know if we have any replacements stored away.
Hang on. Aren't you the one in charge of getting new ones?
I wasn't given any official requisition notice from management. Restocking these things takes time. I keep trying to tell them. Though, it is the scheduled maintenance period for the courtyard. The entire building could fall and crush the documents we have on file. There's a record of just such a tragedy in the past. A large number of tomes and the scholars in charge of them went missing after a freak accident. They were caught up in...
Oh no, I can't waste any more time. Forget about the history lesson. What can I do to help now?
Well, if you can find an object of equivalent length, I'm sure that will work. There has to be something here in the archives. Let's see here. The courtyard structure needs a post exactly 68.1 centimeters long. Thank you for taking the trouble to assist us. We hardly ever see such friendly visitors in Legrazzo.
Friendly, huh? You don't have a lot of helpful neighbors here?
A hazard of Legrazzo's locale. This gloomy place doesn't lend itself to cheerful company, I'm afraid. I suppose a soul guard from Tiania such as yourself may be predisposed to helping people. Is it one of the criteria from which they decide who to send with the alms? Or maybe...
Another long-winded tangent.
This guy's voice
I don't
acting.
Have time. Hold that thought. Gotta take care of a few things. Right, so if I were a building support, where would I be? Guess it's back to the archives I go. Hey, mind if I take a look at your broom?
Oh ho! I see that you too are a connoisseur of sweeping implements. This broom here is over 400 years old, a favorite of one of the more famous Alms of Darkness.
Wow! How is something so old in such good condition?
Can't you guess? Not a single one of us scholars cares a whit for cleaning. Oh, we have not touched the broom for centuries.
So it's a decoration? Well, I'd love to get some use out of the thing, but it's too long.
A pity. It is a marvelous instrument.
Then maybe you should, you know, tidy up?
So why can't we use that one?
What's that thing for?
You mean this wooden scoop? It's for water, of course.
Really? I think the ones in Tiania are different.
Yes, well, you have access to forges in Tiania, do you not? Metalcraft is far easier to come by in a town blessed by the powers of fire.
Oh, that makes sense. Other places don't use as many metal tools, huh?
I believe we have all learned something from this exchange. Speaking of which, have you need of this scoop?
Nah, I'm looking for something to use as a support post, but that's a little too short and flimsy.
How disappointing for you and the scoop.
A new face? Splendid! Me? Why, I'm Bon Voyage, legendary inventor and eccentric genius. And this is my fork of unusual size, a giant's fork.
A what?
A giant! Large, hulking humanoid monsters, you know? You do know, don't you?
From storybooks like the ones that Hina used to read, but not as guests at the dinner table. I didn't think they'd need forks.
This is proof of the existence of giants. Or it might be an oversized tribute to the goddess. Or a fluke manufacturing accident. Whatever it is, it has great historical value.
I didn't realize it was such an important fork. Too bad, since it's the length we're looking for to shore up the building.
Why didn't you say so? It's yours.
But I can't use something of great historical value as a support post.
Never sacrifice the now for the sake of the past. What matters is providing for the future. Wouldn't you agree?
When you put it that way. Okay, I'll try it. All right, now to take this back to Aish. Finally! This should be the perfect size. Now to take it back to Aish. If he's finished with his conversation, that is.
My word, Sproutlings are like nothing I've ever seen before. There is so much we could learn, so much we could study.
You said you're of a very advanced age, correct? The regenerative plant-like properties in your genetic makeup might have something to do with it. Or perhaps...
Oh, you're back! Finally!
Sorry, it took a while to find something usable.
The diminutive nature of Sproutlings might be an evolutionary means to conserve energy within a small frame, according to a treatise I read last year.
Val, you have the replacement, right? Tell me you found something.
It's not exactly what we wanted, but I found a giant's fork that could fit the bill.
Oh yes, the support! I nearly forgot about it yet again.
Do you mind? We were chronicling our newest discoveries on the growth cycles of Sproutlings.
Keeping your city from crumbling is more important.
I suppose we might as well replace the support post now before we become even more distracted. Let's see.
Okay. Relinquished oversized fork.
A fine post, I must say. Make a note to replace this again exactly 1,460 days from now.
Val, in acknowledgement of your services to the archives, I would like to present you with the old support.
Thanks, but we don't need your leftover junk.
Goodness! I believe this item would be better identified as the elemental vessel, Shade Sight.
How fortunate. It appears that luck is on your side, Val.
They used an elemental vessel to prop up a structure?
We use the tools at our disposal to fix problems as they arise. But I digress. We are finished here, if I am not mistaken. Let us make our way to the Tome Spire, as promised.
Before we do that, we're gonna teleport all over the world.
I doubt that Aish and I will ever see eye to eye.
How do you manage to keep up with someone like Aish, Palomina?
We have been friends since our youth, and fellowship begets forgiveness. He has not changed.
So, you've known each other for a long time, then?
So, that's...
Oh, oops. One more vessel for us. I didn't mean to skip that. I just grabbed my controller funny. Dwells within the shaded sight. It's capable of influence gravitational pull of objects. RT to swell your gravitational force. Pull target enemies closer to you.
Sounds like we all had a tough time with this little adventure. Better gear up and make sure I'm ready to take on the Passagian Tome Spire. Let's rest up.
And save. Ooh.